It had been a year since Claire felt anything close to alive. Between managing the household, raising 2 kids, and her husband Ethan's endless late-night meetings and business trips, she had become numb. Ethan wasn't a bad husband. He provided, he was polite, and he never raised his voice. But somewhere between the schedules and responsibilities, he had stopped seeing her. She had become a fixture in their home. Necessary, dependable, invisible. Claire used to paint. Her studio room now served as storage. She used to dance around the kitchen when cooking. Now, even her Spotify playlists gathered dust. Her reflection in the mirror looked well kept but hollow. She hadn't even realized how tense her body was, until her best friend Sophie gave her a birthday gift she didn't expect to change her life. "It's just a massage," Sophie winked. "But trust me, you need this more than you know." The spa was tucked away in a quiet downtown corner, hidden behind a curtain of ivy and warm lighting. From the moment Claire stepped inside, it felt like stepping into a secret world. Soft music, lavender in the air, and a quiet receptionist named Gina who whispered instead of spoke. Claire's name was already on the list. "He'll be with you shortly," Gina said. Before Claire could ask, a man emerged from the hallway. Tall, around 35, broad shoulders, a clean-shaven jawline, and eyes the color of storm clouds. He wore a crisp black polo and calm confidence. "Hi Claire," he said with a soft smile. "I'm Noah. I'll be taking care of you today." Noah. She followed him down the dim hallway, every nerve slightly on edge. Inside the massage room, soft light glowed from Himalayan salt lamps. A hint of sandalwood lingered in the air. Claire undressed behind a silk curtain and lay on the table, pulling the sheet just high enough to feel decent. She didn't know what she expected, but it wasn't this. From the first moment his hands touched her shoulders, Claire felt herself sinking. Not just into the table, but into something deeper. Herself. Noah didn't rush. He didn't just need her muscles. He learned them. His touch was professional but intuitive. He found every place Claire carried stress, between her shoulder blades, the base of her spine, even the arches of her feet, and coaxed out years of exhaustion she didn't realize she carried. She didn't speak. Neither did he. Only the subtle music played in the background, and the sound of her breath slowly deepening. 45 minutes later Noah whispered, "All done." Claire sat up slowly, pulling the robe back over her shoulders. She didn't meet his eyes. "That wasn't just a massage," she said softly, more to herself than him. "It was something else." He just smiled and nodded. Sometimes, the body needs more than rest. It needs permission to feel again. She went home that night and cried in the shower. Not out of guilt, but relief. Someone had seen her. Touched her. Not sexually, but soulfully. She didn't know how to explain it to Ethan. He asked how her day was and she simply said relaxing. But she kept thinking about Noah. His hands. His voice. His quiet presence. It wasn't about attraction, not at first. It was about being remembered. A week later she booked again. Gina didn't flinch when she requested Noah by name. Session 2 was deeper. He talked a little more. Asked her how she was sleeping. Whether she was drinking enough water. Whether she moved her body during the day. "Sometimes," she said, "I feel like I'm just running on autopilot." "Want to turn that off?" he asked gently. Claire smiled. "I'm trying." Their eyes lingered longer this time. He touched her wrist slightly as she left. Nothing inappropriate, just enough to spark a pulse. By the 4th session, Claire had memorized the path to the spa. Her body anticipated his touch before it began. This time she spoke first. "I don't know why I keep coming back," she said. "You know why," Noah answered, his hands already working into her lower back. "You just don't want to say it out loud." Claire paused. "Say what?" "That you miss being touched." Silence. Then her voice cracked. "I haven't been touched in a long time." Noah's hands paused. "I'm sorry." They said nothing else. But something shifted that day. Claire didn't tell Ethan. Their marriage had always been built on mutual respect, but lately, it lacked curiosity. He didn't notice the glow in her skin or the bounce in her walk. She wasn't hiding anything, but she wasn't explaining it either. At her 6th session, Claire waited for Noah in the room. She had done something different that day, wore her red blouse and matching lipstick. When Noah walked in, he stopped mid-step. "You look different," he said. "I feel different," she replied. The room grew warmer. That day, the massage was slower, more deliberate. He massaged her neck gently, then her scalp, brushing back her hair with care. Her breath grew shallow. His fingertips brushed her collarbone. Her body wasn't tense anymore. It was alert, alive. "Noah," she whispered. He stopped. "Claire, I need you to be sure." "I am," she replied. "I've never been more sure." He leaned down, his lips barely grazing her shoulder. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't lustful. It was reverent. And yet, that's all that happened. No clothes came off beyond the robe. No lines were crossed. But everything changed. The touch that day wasn't about skin. It was about soul. A silent confession. A craving answered. Claire didn't go back the next week. Or the one after that. She needed space to think. Ethan noticed. One evening he asked, "Are we okay?" Claire hesitated. "We haven't been for a while, have we?" He looked away ashamed. "I guess I thought we were fine." "We forgot each other," she said gently. "And I let someone else remind me I was still here." Ethan was quiet for a long time. "Did you sleep with him?" "No," she said truthfully. "But it was still a betrayal, because I gave him the part of me you stopped asking for." He nodded. "Do you still want this marriage?" "I want to be seen," she said. "If you can promise me that, I'll stay." Ethan took her hand. "Then let's start over." They began couples therapy. Claire picked up her paintbrush again. Ethan turned off his phone at dinner. They talked more, touched more. Sometimes they just lay in bed holding hands, no words needed. Claire never saw Noah again. But she never forgot him either. Because that wasn't just a massage. It was a turning point. It was the moment Claire remembered she was still a woman, still worthy of touch, of attention, of passion. And in the quiet rooms of her heart, she thanked him. Not for what almost happened, but for helping her feel alive again.